We are the Gujarat Technological University. Since its inception over a decade ago, GTU has been empowering young and curating minds to realize their true potential. Over 4 lakh inspired students are enrolled with one of the premier academic universities in India.
Good morning, student. Good morning, student. Today we discuss a topic: Introduction to Complex Number in the subject of complex variable and partial differential equation. So first we discuss what is the definition of complex number. So the set C of a complex number is the set of all order pair x comma y of real numbers with the operation of addition and multiplication. So the set of all order pair x comma y where x and y both are numbers with operation addition and multiplication. So addition of two order pair x1 y1 plus x2 y2 is equal to x1 plus x2 y1 plus y2, and multiplication of two order pair x1 y1 x2 y2 is nothing but x1 x2 minus y1 y2 x1 y2 plus x2 y1. So if two complex number are given x1 y1 and x2 y2, then the multiplication is defined in this form and addition is defined in this form, then a complex number C is nothing but xy such that xy belongs to R. It is also denoted by z is equal to x plus iy, where I is equal to the square root of minus 1. So again, a complex number is the set of order pair which is denoted by x comma y, where x and y both are real number. It is also denoted by z is equal to x plus iy, where I is equal to the square root of minus 1. If z is equal to x plus iy, then x is called a real part of z, which is denoted by real part of z or r of z, and y is said to be an imaginary part of z, which is denoted by imz or I of z. So again, if z is equal to x plus iy is a complex number, then the x is said to be a real part of z and y is said to be an imaginary part of z. In this complex number, z is equal to x plus iy, we consider x is equal to 0, then z is equal to iy is called a purely imaginary number. If real part is 0, then we can say z is equal to iy is a purely imaginary number, and the imaginary part is equal to 0, then z is equal to x is called a purely real number. So there are two parts, real number, purely and purely imaginary number. Now I can be written as 0 comma 1 because this is the order pair we write in the form x plus iy. So real part is 0 and imaginary part is 1. So we write I can be written in as 0 comma 1 is equal to 0 plus 1 into I. The another concept, if z is equal to x plus iy is a complex number, then a complex conjugate of z is defined as x minus iy, and it is denoted by z bar. This is the conjugate of a complex number. So if z is a x plus iy, then a conjugate of complex number, we write z bar, and z bar is nothing but x minus iy. Now we add z plus z bar. Z plus Z bar, where Z is a x plus iy, Z bar is the conjugate of Z. So x plus iy plus x minus iy plus iy cancel, this is equal to 2x. Therefore, x is nothing but Z plus Z bar divided by 2. So this is called a real part of Z, and real part of Z is x, and x is nothing but Z plus Z bar divided by 2. Similar, if we subtract both Z minus Z bar, then we get x plus iy minus x, actually minus plus iy. So minus x plus x cancel, then we get 2iy. So we write y is equal to imaginary part of z, and imaginary part of z is equal to z minus z bar divided by 2i. So x, real part of z, which can be expressed in the form of z plus z bar divided by 2. Similar, y is the imaginary part of z, which can be expressed in the form of z minus z bar divided by 2i. Now consider we multiply both z into z bar. So x plus iy, x minus iy, we know that how to multiply. So x square plus ixy minus ixy plus y square, because I into I is I square, and I square is minus 1, so minus minus plus, so we get a y square. So the form is a x square plus y square. So z into z bar is nothing but x square plus y square. Now some result is there. First result, z1 plus z2 bar conjugate. We write z1 conjugate, that means z1 bar plus z2 bar. z1 minus z2 bar, we write z1 bar minus z2 bar. z1 into z2 bar is nothing but z1 bar into z2 bar, and z1 upon z2 bar is nothing but z1 bar upon z2 bar. So this is the result related to the complex number and the conjugate of the complex number. Now algebraic operation of a complex number. So in this slide we discuss if two complex numbers are given, so how to add both, how to multiply both, how to subtract both, how to divide both, and how to equate both. So consider a two complex number, z1 is equal to x1 plus iy1 and z2 is equal to x2 plus iy2. Then the equality of two complex number, that means z1 is equal to z2, we consider if and only if z1 is equal to z2, if and only if real part x1 is equal to real part x2. That means x1 is the real part of z1, x2 is the real part of z2, so both are same, and the imaginary part y1 is equal to y2. So if z1 is equal to z2, then we write real part are same and imaginary part are same. Addition of two complex number. So z1 plus z2, we write x1 plus iy1 plus x2 plus iy2. Then we write x1 plus x2 is the real part, so first term, plus y1 plus y2 is the imaginary part. So z1 plus z2 is nothing but x1 plus x2 plus y1 plus y2. Subtraction of two complex numbers similar to the addition. So z1 minus z2 is nothing but x1 plus iy1 minus x2 minus iy2. So x1 minus x2 is the real part and y1 minus y2 is the imaginary part. So we write x1 minus x2 plus y1 minus y2. That means we add, we subtract both, then the form is always in real part plus I into imaginary part. Now multiplication of two complex number. So z1 into z2 is x1 plus iy1 into x2 plus iy2. This is equal to x1 x2 plus iy1 x2 plus I x1 y2 minus I into I square is minus 1 y1 into y2. So x1 x2 minus y1 y2 is the real part plus I x1 y2 plus y1 x2. So this is the multiplication of two complex number. Now division of two complex number, that means z1 divided by z2. So this is equal to x1 plus iy1 upon x2 plus iy2. Now we convert this form, this complex number in a real part plus I into imaginary part. So obviously the denominator is x2 plus I by 2. We multiply with the conjugate. So we multiply x2 minus I by 2 and we divide x2 minus I by 2. So x1 plus I by 1 upon x2 plus I by 2 into x2 minus I by 2 in upon x2 minus I by 2. Now in a numerator we multiply both term, then we get x1 x2 minus I x1 y2 plus I y1 x2 plus y1 y2, and then in a denominator a plus b a minus b formula we know that a square minus b square. So x2 square minus I square y2 square. I square is minus 1, so minus minus plus y2 square. So the denominator form is not depends on a complex term, that means the imaginary part, only the real part. So this form we convert a real x1 plus x2 plus y1 plus y2, y1 into y2 divided by x2 square plus y2 square plus I x2 y1 minus y2 x1 upon x2 square plus y2 square. So this is the division of two complex number. Now take some example. First example, find the real and imaginary part of minus 1 minus I raised to 3 plus minus 1 plus I raised to 3. So how to find the real and imaginary part? So first we consider minus 1 minus I raised to 3. Now here the power is odd. So we write in this form is minus 1 minus I square into minus 1 minus I. So this is equal to, we know that how to find the value of this form. So minus 1 common, minus 1 square is 1. So indirectly this is the 1 plus I. And 1 plus I square, we use the formula a plus b whole square. So a square, so 1 plus 2I and plus I square is minus 1. So minus 1 plus 1 cancel. So 2I into minus 1 minus I. And then we get the form is minus 2I plus 2. Similar, we expand the second part, minus 1 plus I raised to 3. This is equal to minus 1 plus I square into minus 1 plus I. This is equal to minus 1 square is 1 minus 2I plus I square is minus 1 minus 1 plus I. Anything, nothing but minus 1 plus 1 cancel. So minus 2I minus 1 plus I is equal to 2I plus 2. So therefore the real part and imaginary part of the given complex number is nothing but minus 2I plus 2 plus 2I plus 2. So this is equal to 4. So real part is 4, imaginary part is 0. Second example, find the real and imaginary part of any function f of z is 1 upon z plus 1 at the point z is equal to 1 plus I. So here given that the point 1 plus I, and then we find the real and imaginary part. So first we input z is equal to 1 plus I in this function. So f of z is equal to 1 upon 1 plus I plus 1. So obviously 2 plus I. Now the denominator depends on a complex number. So we multiply and divide with the conjugate. So 2 minus I, 2 minus I. So we write numerator is a 2 minus I, denominator a plus b, a minus b formula. So 2 square minus I square. 2 square is a 4, I square is minus 1. So total is 5. So 5. So 2 minus I divided by 5. Then the separate them. So 2 by 5 minus I by 5. So we can say real part is a 2 by 5 and imaginary part is a minus 1 by 5. Now another example, find the real and imaginary part of the function f of z is equal to e raised to z. So in this function e raised to z is nothing but e raised to z is a replace with x plus iy. So we write e raised to x into e raised to iy. We know that e raised to iy is cos y plus I sin y. Therefore we get e raised to x cos y plus I e raised to x sin y. So e raised to x cos y is the real part and e raised to x sin y is the imaginary part. Now next, the absolute value of a complex number or modulus of a complex number. So if z is equal to x plus iy is a complex number, then its the absolute value or a modulus is denoted by mod of z. And it is defined, mod of z is nothing but mod of x plus iy, and mod of x plus iy is equal to the square root of real part square, that means x square, plus imaginary part square, that means y square. So if we find the any absolute value of any complex number, so we use this concept, a square root of real part square plus the imaginary part square, where mod of z is also indicate that the distance between two point, one point is x comma y and the another point is origin. So mod of z is also indicate the distance between the point x comma y and origin. Origin, that means 0 0. So also we use a distance between two complex number. We use the concept of the modulus. So distance between two complex number, first z1 is x1 plus iy1 and z2 is equal to x2 plus iy2, is defined and denoted by mod of z1 minus z2 is equal to this complex number z1 is x1 plus iy1, also we write in the order pair x1 comma y1. Similar z2 is x2 comma y2. So two number means 2 points are given and we want to find the distance. So indirectly mod of z1 minus z2 is the square root of x1 minus x2 whole square plus y1 minus y2 whole square. So real part square plus the imaginary difference y1 minus y2 whole square. So mod of z1 minus z2 is equal to the square root of x1 minus x2 square plus y1 minus y2 square. It is also denoted by z into z bar is equal to x square plus y square, and x square plus y square we write mod of z square, and mod of z square also we write mod of z bar square. Example, find the modulus of the complex number z is equal to 1 minus 3i. So solution is mod of 1 minus 3i is equal to the square root of real part square 1 square plus the imaginary part minus 3 square. So this is equal to the square root of 1 plus 9, and 1 plus 9 is root 10. Now the next topic, a polar form of a complex number. So what is the polar form? How to convert any Cartesian form into the polar form? So let z is equal to x plus iy is a complex number and r and theta be the polar coordinate. R and theta be the polar coordinate. We find the polar form of a complex number. So we use the relation x is equal to r cos theta and y is equal to r sin theta, where x square plus y square is equal to r square. So we input this form, x is r cos theta and y is r sin theta, in z is equal to x plus iy. So therefore z is equal to x plus iy is equal to x is r cos theta, y is r sin theta. So r cos theta plus I r sin theta is equal to r common cos theta plus I sin theta. So we write cos theta plus I sin theta is e raised to I theta. So therefore the complex number in the polar form is z is equal to r into e raised to I theta, where r is nothing but mod of z is the square root of x square plus y square, is called modulus of z, and theta is argument of z, and we write a tan inverse y by x is called a amplitude of z. So r is the modulus of z, r is the modulus of a complex number, and theta is the amplitude of the complex number. Now for calculating the value of the theta, we consider the following way, because this is depends on the quadrant. That means the value of x and y both are positive. So first quadrant, then the value of theta like different, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. So suppose first, if x greater than 0, y greater than 0, then we use the formula theta is equal to tan inverse y by x. That means the first quadrant. If x less than 0, y greater than 0, then we use the theta is equal to pi minus tan inverse y by x. X less than 0, y less than 0, that means the third quadrant, then we use the theta is equal to minus pi plus tan inverse y by x. And the fourth, if x is greater than 0, y less than 0, then the value of theta is equal to minus tan inverse y by x. So this is the first quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, and fourth quadrant. We find the corresponding value of the theta. Example. Find the polar form of a complex number 1 plus I. Also find a general value and principal value of argument of z. So here first we find the r and theta. So obviously first we find what is the value of x and what is the value of y. So we can say x is 1 and y is 1. So real part x is 1, y is a 1, imaginary part also y is 1. We input in the formula r is equal to mod of z is equal to the square root of x square plus y square. Therefore, x is 1, y is 1, so square root of 1 square plus 1 square is equal to root 2. So r is a root 2. Now for finding the value of theta, x is 1 greater than 0, y is 1 greater than 0. That means both value in a first quadrant. So we use the theta is equal to tan inverse y by x. And tan inverse y by x, tan inverse 1 upon 1 is 1, is pi by 4. So therefore the general value of argument of z is given by pi by 4 plus 2k pi plus or minus 2k pi, where k is equal to 0, 1, 2 up to and so on. And the principal value of the argument of z is given by only the pi by 4. So thank you. Now in the next lecture we discuss introduction of complex number, lecture number 2. Thank you.